Welcome friends, welcome to Simzuu, and today we are going to see part B of the video of the definition who is a workman. Part A is already there, and those who have not seen part A, I would request you to first see part A and then in a sequel it is part B. Friends, as I told you, we wish all of you should prosper. All of y'all should be achievers. You should accomplish something, and for which knowledge is very essential, and that is why we believe that knowledge prospers all. So let's increase our knowledge, you and me, both of us, in this journey of increasing knowledge. Now, as far as the inclusive part of the definition under section 2s of the Industrial Disputes Act as to who is a workman, we have already seen. Workman is a person who does manual, skilled, unskilled, technical, clerical, operational and supervisory work, and then the non-inclusive part in which we have seen to whom the Army, Navy and Air Force Act does not apply, whose wages are less than rupees 10,000 per mensum, who is not a member of the prison service or of the police service, and we come to the last part of the definition, which is the most important. That one who is basically or mainly not employed in a managerial cadre. Now this brings us to the premise as to what is the difference between a manager and a workman basically. And it reminds me of a story. The name of the story, friends, is the potato peeler's case. What is the potato peeler's case? The potato peeler's case is the one that in Japan, there was a wafer company, and in the wafer company, what used to happen is that they used to make wafers. And how do you make wafers? You have to take a potato, boil the potato, peel the potato, and then you make wafers. So there were a bunch of workmen, and the bunch of workmen, what they used to do is they have to, you have to boil the potatoes, give it to them, they will peel the potatoes. And there were some workmen. All of them, let's put it this way, used to peel 2 kilos of potatoes per day. Just peeling them, 2 kilos per day. But friends, there was one workman. That workman was an expert at peeling. Others used to peel 2 kilos per day. Iska record tha 10 kilos per day. Where is 2 and where is 10? Lekin ye 10 kilo aloo, that is potatoes, he used to peel. Then what happened? One day, this 10 kilo workman, that is one who used to peel 10 kilos, he came to the management and said, do you know mera kya record hai? Others are peeling only 2 kilos. I am peeling 10 kilos. So what you have to do? Increase my pay packet. Oh manager और मेरे में difference ही क्या है? उसकी salary कितनी है? मेरी salary कितनी है? So increase my salary as that of a manager. Management also came into problems. They said, okay, come on, show us. And he peeled 10 kilos. Well, बात तो सही है. अभी करे क्या? But there was a young manager. He informed the management, you leave this person to me. इसको मैं देख लेता हूँ. Next day, he told the workman, you come. And then he came and he gave him only 2 kilos of potatoes. The workman started laughing at him. He said, manager साहब, आपको मालूम भी है मेरा record क्या है? I can peel 10 kilos of potatoes and you are giving me only 2. मेरा record मालूम है ना? Manager said, gentlemen, जरा सुनो मेरी बात तो सुनो. What you have to do is, you have to select the good potatoes. You have to reject the bad potatoes and peel only the good potatoes. Listen carefully. Select the good, reject the bad and peel only the good potatoes. समझ में आई बात? चलो शुरू हो जाओ. I will come in the evening. The manager, when he came in the evening, to his surprise, the worker whose record was 10 kgs had not even peeled 1 kg of potato, because he used to take a potato and then think, ये अच्छा potato है, ये अच्छा नहीं है, because he is only to peel the good potatoes. Whether it is good, whether it is bad. हो सकता है ये good हो, नहीं ये शायद इतना good नहीं है, तो ये it is a bad potato, I keep it. And he could not decide only. And here, friends, is the difference between a manager and a workman. This workman is mechanically good. He is good at peeling, not at deciding. Deciding requires application of mind, application of brain, which is a function of the manager. And then the manager told him, समझ में आई बात? This is the difference between a manager and a workman. You are good at peeling, not at deciding. I am good at deciding, not at peeling. That is the difference, and that is why my salary is higher. Well, friends, this is the story, but then we again come to the premise as to who is a workman. So, friends, let's proceed. What is the difference between a manager and a workman? And have you ever thought, कभी सोचा है इसके बारे में? You remove one worker, what is the percentage of workers who approach the labor or the industrial courts? Let me tell you, it is 99%. Out of 199, if at all there is a termination or anything, any industrial dispute, the workman would be in the labor industrial court. But have you ever thought of what happens to the managers? When a manager is terminated, how many go to courts of law? Number one. The percentage of managers going to the court of law is less than 1% because they are not workmen. So which courts will managers go? Managers, the only court which is left for them is to go to the civil court. But do you know, friends, civil courts do not have a power of reinstatement. Labor industrial courts have a power of reinstatement. So does Central Administrative Tribunal, Maharashtra Administrative Tribunal in state of Maharashtra, or even High Court, because High Court sits in extraordinary jurisdiction. They all have power of reinstatement, but ये power civil courts के पास नहीं है. So what will a manager do going to the civil court? He is going to get only a declaration that yes, termination is bad at law, and that is why, if you see statistics, the number of workmen going to labor industrial courts is 99%, whereas managers going to civil courts is less than 1%. And moreover, you see, we are seeing this definition, section 2S of the Industrial Disputes Act. In state of Maharashtra, we have the Maharashtra Industrial Relations Act 1946, which applies to certain industries, say as hosiery mills, sugar factories, cooperative banks, and in which there is section 313 in the Maharashtra Industrial Relations Act. Now, section 313 is pari materia with section 2S. And what is parameteria? मैं भी ये बड़े बड़े शब्द क्यों यूज कर रहा हूं? What is parameteria? My job is to make things simple. Parameteria एकदम सिंपल करके बोलता हूं कि it is just similar. Section 2S is similar to section 313 of the Maharashtra Industrial Relations Act 1946. So both are almost similar. There could be a marginal difference, but let's not go into that. Now, once this is there, we have understood jurisdiction of civil court, we have understood jurisdiction of labor industrial court, but as I told you, there is a mad rush. Every Tom, Dick and Harry जो उठता है वो कहता है कि I am a workman and then give me all the protection, because protection is granted under the Industrial Disputes Act, and you can get a reinstatement, you can get back wages, you can get continuity of service, you can get a reinstatement in your original post. सब कुछ तो मिलता है. So what you have to do is you just have to go there and say कि मैं भी workman हूँ, and this brings us again to the premise, and we have to understand as to who is a workman and who is not. And this is our whole soul exercise. Now I will give you a simple way in which how it is done. Think, listen carefully. You have to listen to me carefully to enjoy this example also. What happens is, there was a draftsman. How the lawyers in a cross examination find out whether he is a workman or not. And there was a draftsman, कुछ drafting का drawing था, and इसके नीचे there was an endorsement कि okay, हर पेज पर okay. So the workman entered, the draftsman entered into the witness box. Whether he is a workman or not, judge has to find out, and the lawyer is to cross examine him. So the lawyer asked him a set of questions. वकील ने पहले पूछा क्या ये? He said ये तो ड्राइंग है, मशीन ड्राइंग. इसके नीचे क्या है? So इसके नीचे ओके लिखा है. Is it your handwriting? He said yes. You have endorsed it as okay. Said yes. इसका मतलब ये है कि ये ड्राइंग सही है, इसके लिए you have written and endorsed it as okay. He said correct. Now, अगर ये ड्राइंग ओके नहीं होता So you would not had written okay. Now this is a very common sense question. Worker said yes. Had it not been, the drawing was not okay, I would not had put an okay. So in this drawing, you first understand whether it is okay or not. And then you put an endorsement. He said correct. Now he said, you tell me, how do you differentiate and decide कि ये drawing okay है और ये drawing okay नहीं है? He said these are the parameters. मैं ये देखता हूँ, radius देखता हूँ, diameter, whatever are engineering parameters. He said ये होगा तो drawing सही है, ये नहीं होगा तो drawing सही नहीं है. It means you decide. Said yes, I decide on the basis of these parameters. They said yes, on the basis of these parameters. But the point is, decision making is a management function, and that's exactly what we are seeing here. And friends, furthermore also, we see there is a difference between supervision and a management also. Supervision is keeping an eye over. बस मैं ऐसा देख रहा हूँ, सब ठीक चल रहा है ना, on the shop floor. Management is management of so many things. Administration, management also is there. और अभी तो there are so many judgments of the Supreme Courts wherein Supreme Court says it is not only management of men, it is management of machines. And the age-old theories which we had, do you give a charge sheet? Do you have any administrative powers? Have you given a punishment to anybody? How many people work under you? Whether you work independently? There were so many landmark cases. Anil Kumra's case, which gives up all these series of questions, and if these are present, that is, there are people below you, you give them independent orders, you admonish them, you punish them, you give leaves. This is a very vital factor. You give leaves, sanctioning the leaves, then you are a manager and not a workman. But all these questions have to be answered, friends. Otherwise, any Tom, Dick and Harry is going to come to the labor and industrial court, and then he is going to say, I am a manager, I am a workman, I am a workman, and I am a workman. And it is here the Honorable Labour Court will frame a preliminary issue. केस को तो बड़ा लंबा चलेगा, लेकिन पहले ये तो तय होने चाहते ना कि who are you? Are you a workman? And this is exactly the topic of our discussion, friends. Now friends, there is one more differentiating factor. See, designation is not important. Honorable Justice P.N. Bhagwati in one of his judgments said that designation is not of great moment. You have to see what is the core activity of a person, and then the gloss of additional duties is to be discarded. Now, what is designation? Designation is people in India give any designation. Sometimes all these freshers, college graduates and MBAs, and they come, and the management, in order to pamper his ego, they give him high sounding labels. First he comes up, they give him a visiting card. On the visiting card, his designation is printed, team leader, and then all sorts of different some words are not in the dictionary also. For example, I came across one visiting card wherein his designation was leading hand. So I said, what is this leading hand? I referred to the dictionary. Dictionary में भी ये meaning नहीं है. Leading hand, leading अलग है, hand अलग है, लेकिन leading hand ऐसा dictionary में word ही नहीं है. But then just to pamper his ego, these high sounding labels are given. It boosts a person. One of the cases, a very funny incident happened. One person was given a designation general manager, terminated, matter went to the court, and then they saw his designation. And what the management used to do, his designation was general manager. General manager into bracket sweeping means what? And the moment he used to come, वो worker आता था, अरे general manager साहब इधर बैठो, अरे general manager साहब को कुर्सी दे दो. Yeah, who are you? He is general manager into bracket sweeping. So what is the nature of his duty? The court asked. He said, no, he sweeps the floor. So he is the झाड़ू वाला. झाड़ू वाला is in manual, skilled, unskilled, manual. हाथ से काम करेगा. And that is why झाड़ू वाला, you may be calling him general manager, but he remains to be a workman in the definition. That is why he is a workman. So what you say, what you call is not important. What you do is very important. And Honorable Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer in one of his judgments said that yes, what is the nature of the duty, that is the sole test. You have to see what is the nature of the duty. If you see, friends, I mean, names are not important. Pet names are there. So my pet name in the company is Raja. एक माँ भी अपने बेटे को राजा बोलती है, तो that doesn't mean that the beta is a raja of some riyasat. No, that is his pet name. Likewise, management here all call me general manager. That is my pet name. लेकिन हूँ तो मैं झाड़ू वाला ही. And झाड़ू वाला is a workman because the nature of his duty is manual. And we again revisit the definition. Who is a workman under section 2S of the Industrial Disputes Act? One who does manual, skilled, unskilled, technical, clerical, operational and supervisory work. Yes, friends. Now let me tell you one day what happened is we all friends gathered. When I was in college, I am a BSc graduate. BSc geology I have done, which has got nothing to do with law in one sense. But then I thought of pursuing law. So I went to a law college, whereas my friends in those days, see, circumstances are different. And it was very, I would not say easy, but they joined pharmaceutical companies. And after 6 months, in those days there was no WhatsApp, but we all friends decided to have a get together. So we assembled at one restaurant. And I was the only one pursuing education. और ये बाकी सब कमाते भी थे. मेरे जेब में तो कुछ नहीं. And they said, "Arey, no problem. We are going to have a lovely time and a gala time." So I said, "Okay." And I asked my friends, "करते क्या हो? What do you do?" And my friend gave me a visiting card. It read sales representative of some company. I asked another friend. All are into pharmaceuticals. He said, "I am area representative." So I asked the first one, "What do you do?" He said, "I go to the doctor, I canvass sales, then I go to the stockist, then I go to the chemist and ensure that all products are in place." So when the patient comes up, he goes to the doctor prescribes that medicine, patient takes that prescription, goes to the chemist and my medicine is available. In simple words, what he is doing is canvassing sales. Then I asked the next friend, "What do you do?" ये तो सेल्स रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है, तुम तो एरिया रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हो, करते क्या हो? He said, "I go to the doctor, I go to the chemist, I go to the stockist and do the same things which he is doing." Means he is also canvassing sales. Then I asked a third friend who was marketing manager. Now his designation is sales representative, area representative, ये है marketing manager. Again my question, करते क्या हो? What do you do? And he said, "I go to the doctor and I go to the chemist and I go to the stockist and then again do the same things which these people are doing, that is canvassing sales." So in simple words, friends, all of them, their names are different, nomenclature is different, but what work they do is canvassing sales. And then at that point of time, it also happened that manual, skilled, unskilled, technical, clerical and operational never had this word called canvassing only. So at that point of time, these people were not workmen, and then there were representations which they made to the government of India. It is in the year 1976, an act was passed which even today is prevalent, and the name of the act is Sales Promotion Employees Conditions of Service Act 1976. So all these salesmen, earlier it was restricted to pharmaceuticals, but all these salesmen, ये ball bearing बेचता है, ये washing machine बेचता है, ultimately he is in sales. So whether salesmen, all of these selling something, are these workmen? Then the answer is today a yes. In those days, once upon a time, it was no. And then it is all a yes today under the Sales Promotion Employees Act. So friends, what we see is these sales promotion employees. Today so many people are there, but ultimately my topic is only, we are answering only one question. You know, both the videos, question is who is a workman and what is the decisive test? Decisive test is करते क्या हो? is the decisive test. What duty you do, only your duty is going to decide as to whether you are a workman or whether you are not. What you say, what they call you, what is your pet name in the industry is of zero value. What you do determines in the light of the judgments, of course, friends, we are going to see in part C of who is a workman. What are the landmark judgments? Yes, you and me both have to know what are the landmark judgments and what are the trends in the judgments, what are the change in the judgments. खैर वो तो time permitting अगले वीडियो में हम देखेंगे. But as for today, what we see is nomenclature, high sounding labels, बड़े बड़े नाम, it is of no use. Okay. And one more, friends, we all enjoy this journey of being with you, enlightening you, because we all want everybody of you to succeed. We all want everybody of you to have a promotion, accomplish something, be an achiever. Today, just think how happy everybody would be in your house when you are an achiever. Okay. So friends, we are going to join you in the next video in part C, wherein we are only going to see case laws with respect to workmen. And don't forget that this is a sequel, part A, part B और part C. जिन्होंने नहीं देखा है part A, first see part A, then see part B. There is a sequence to it. Okay. Yes, friends.